David, does Bud have a chance against Canelo?
I think he does, bro. I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Bud, his IQ and his experience will definitely help him through. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's going up 2 other weight classes when he had just went up to one.
Caleb Plant has finally discussed the highly anticipated fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, and his assessment has generated a lot of interest.
Stylistically, this is just my last follow-up. Do you think Canelo should be the favorite in the fight because he's bigger, or do you see he had trouble with Skull, his speed? Terence is going to throw a lot more, and he has that speed also.
Regardless of however the fight itself plays out, I feel like the betting, the betting people will probably have Canelo as a favorite.
Plant, who has personally experienced Canelo's strength, clarified that this bout will not be like anything viewers have recently witnessed. And he stated unequivocally that the Mexican superstar versus American pound-for-pound gray fight is going to have a whole different vibe. With the date approaching, the excitement surrounding this conflict, which has been building for months, is at an all-time high. One of the biggest spectacles in contemporary boxing history will take place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on September 13th. Crawford is making his debut foray into the super middleweight class with the goal of unseating Canelo, the current undisputed champion weighing 168 pounds.
Your favorite, Canelo or Crawford?
Canelo. Canelo, yeah.
What do you think is the most significant part of that matchup in Canelo versus Crawford?
That he's comfortable at 168, that he's been fighting there. He went and collected all the belts at that weight class. Crawford, of course, Crawford has a chance. He has a big chance, being one of the pound-for-pound fighters of the world. But it's just the advantage of being there first. You know what to expect in that weight class. Crawford's coming off a 154 fight that he fought last year. So I really don't consider him even a 154. He's been fighting at 147 for a while. He had that one fight at 154, and then he stopped fighting for a year again. So, of course he's probably been training, again, high-class fighter, but to be comfortable at 168, you're gonna have to do some fights in there. And going in there fighting the undisputed champion, it's gonna take a toll.
Plant, who was the IBF champion until Canelo took it away from him, gave his own analysis of the bout. In addition to being under duress,
Terence gotta be Terence, bro. He's a real deep thinker. He processed fights like nobody else. And he's processed this Canelo fight. He's seen it. He went through it 2 or 3 times already. He knows how this ends. You can tell the way he shadow boxes. He visualizing Canelo being right there in front of him. You understand? Look at the movement. That's all you got to do. Look at the movement. And that's the type of master boxer that Canelo is going to be facing. And the only thing I say is Canelo hasn't faced an opponent like this in a long time. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's going to have to go back to the Caleb Plant fight and look that good, that active, that, you feel me, moving with that type of grace to beat Terence Crawford. Because weight ain't going to make the difference. It ain't going to be the weight. It's going to be the skill set.
Another well-known figure to consider is Andy Ruiz, who has a track record of disproving skeptics following his historic shock victory over Anthony Joshua. Ruiz did not discount Canelo's potential, although he has a lot of respect for him. He also made the point that fashion is more important than size. Ruiz reminded supporters that Crawford's left-handed stance and boxing acumen might cause serious issues for the champion, and that Canelo has previously struggled against slick southpaws. Ruiz himself was unable to declare a winner, instead choosing to declare the bout too risky for either side to be sure of.
Well, all I know is that if you were in a Canelo Crawford card, that card would be a million times. It's still an amazing card, but you would have added a lot. Who wins, Canelo or Crawford?
I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm going for Canelo, of course. He's the Mexican warrior as well. And for Crawford, man, you can't neglect him or you can't underestimate him as well. He has a lot of skills, a lot of movement. He's a lefty as well. That's what Canelo has trouble with. I think it's gonna be an amazing fight, man. I just can't wait, and the best man wins.
Sanchez, a seasoned trainer, expressed a different worry on the cautious side. Sanchez underlined that the quick switch between several weight divisions in such a brief period of time would not be well received by Crawford's body. Crawford gains a significant amount of muscle mass in less than a year, but Sanchez maintained that it takes years to develop the kind of body required to withstand Canelo's might. He was concerned that Crawford's signature speed
Crawford uses his legs, and he doesn't let Canelo just hit him in the arms and beat him up in the arms. He has a very good chance of fighting.
Given that Khan has shared the ring with both men, his viewpoint is significant in and of itself. However, his interactions ended badly. Khan was smashed by Canelo's devastating right hand during one of his most vicious knockouts in 2016. 3 years later, Khan and Crawford squared off, but the bout ended in frustration when Khan's corner stopped the fight after he delivered a low punch. It's astonishing that Khan leans toward Crawford in spite of those unpleasant results. He believes that the Nebraska native has one of the best boxing minds and that Crawford may be a far more dangerous opponent than most people realize because to his underappreciated strength.
He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might be stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well. He might do really well in there. So look,
you fought them both. Like, what are the differences between them? Obviously, it's weight.
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't hit clean. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard because. And you can see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much weight? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go for fighting Canelo?
However, there are still many voices of concern. Increases fighter Pro Gray, who is renowned for his own aggressive approach, has cautioned against undervaluing Canelo's experience against more powerful opponents. Progra mentioned men like Jen Golovkin and Sergey Kovalivan, who were strong and large but still couldn't overpower Canelo. He doesn't think Crawford can maintain his pace and punching power till 168. And according to Pro Gay, that might be the difference. It's possible that the gap and physical strength are just too much to overcome.
I think that first off, I think that Crawford has the ability to outbox Canelo. You gotta look at it. And then Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small, you know, and he can look bigger in. Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get in that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin. He fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference, Jamel looked like the bigger man. You know, his head, his neck, everything looked bigger. But when they got in the fight, you can tell. You can see who really was the bigger man. And I think that's the same thing. Crawford is putting on weight, but it's not weight like Canelo had the weight already. He doesn't have to put on muscle. He doesn't have to do that. He's already big like that. But I think that Crawford does have the style. He does have the style to beat him. If you look at the people that beat him or gave trouble, Irislan, Lara, Austin Trout, Floyd, and Bivol. You know, they gave him trouble and stuff like that. And Skull moved around a little bit too. So I think that Crawford has that, but I don't know how Crawford is going to respond when he gets hit. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel was undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him and shit. Jamel was like, hell no. Jamel took a knee, you know. So it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't, you know, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about a break. This might be, I mean, people might kill me for it, but well, not really. But this might be the best Mexican fighter ever.
Then there is the viewpoint of one of boxing's greatest boxers, Roy Jones Jr. Jones, who progressed through several categories during his career, is well versed in the requirements for success when increasing in weight. He thinks Crawford is truly the favorite going into this bout, in contrast to many others. Jones believes that Crawford is the more adaptable of the two, a fighter who can win in a variety of ways. Although he respects Canelo's strength and experience, he believes that Crawford's intelligence, adaptability.
So you think Canelo has to kind of fight? Let's talk about the weight a little bit, right? Because we all know everything you accomplished as a heavyweight. What is Terence?
The battle has captivated the boxing world's attention in a manner that few contests can, regardless of how the predictions turn out. There's good reason why some people refer to it as the battle of the century. Money, records, and belts aren't the only things involved. It concerns two of the greatest of this era coming together at a crucial juncture where their respective legacies are at stake. Different images are painted by Lance's cautious optimism, Chavez's audacious certainty, Tarver's conviction that skill matters more than size, Ruiz's focus and styles, Sancho's body-related worries, Ward's analytical breakdown, Lara's tactical recommendations, Khan's distinct personal insight, progress cautions, and Joan Jr.'s assurance. But none of those viewpoints will matter when the Allegiant Stadium's first bell rings. What transpires within those ropes will reveal the truth.